Welcome, everybody, to Strangest Species Season 2, Episode 32.
Woohoo!
That rhymed.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Well, it's okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Davis, here with your co-host, the rhyming expert, Ethne Wah Davis.
Ooh.
How are you?
Good, so good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. I don't think I can complain about too much.
Nope. It's been a cold week, but a good week.
True.
With the cold comes sun.
It's been frigid, but very sunny.
Yeah, and so sometimes I will take that over kind of warmer, but like more overcast.
I will always take that.
Yeah, so there you go.
We're supposed to get a bunch of snow this week, but then it's supposed to get like 53 degrees.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And awesome.
And rainy.
Yeah. Oh, that's not so rainy.
But it will get rid of all the snow, I presume.
Okay.
So, you know. So, hey, what have you been up to since the last time we recorded? Well, first off, let me apologize. We had a 2-week stint there without an episode. It's supposed to be every other week, but it didn't come out when it was supposed to.
Oh, why did it not come out when it was
well,
supposed to?
I don't know.
We know why.
Well, yeah, I preset it because we were. Where were we? What were we doing?
We were in Belize.
We were in Belize,
Mm-hmm.
snorkeling and playing, and that was fun. But the episode didn't come out when it was supposed to on that Tuesday.
Because
So I went and looked, and somehow I had set it to come out February 26th of 2026.
yeah, we have no idea
I don't know what
happened.
Yeah.
So our son was the first one to tell us, like, hey, your episode didn't come out. What's going on? And we're like, it didn't? We preset it. So sorry in advance for those that were expecting it. So then it ended up coming out a week later.
Yeah, but I'm still going to release this one this Tuesday. So you'll have back-to-back weeks this time.
Because you had 2 weeks off.
That's right.
Cool.
Yes.
So here we go.
But Belize is good.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was 85
And wonderful.
and wonderful. We saw crocodiles out, like real life ones, just out and about, not, like in a reserve or anything. So that was fascinating. We swam with sharks. That was cool. We snorkeled a whole bunch. We ate lots of yummy food.
Yeah. Lots of bumps on our golf cart.
Yeah. So we were on San Pedro Island in Belize.
Amberkey Sky.
That's true.
More specifically.
And it's all golf cart out there.
It's awesome.
But it's a wild west of golf carts.
Yeah.
It's pretty hectic.
Yeah. But it's fun.
It was fun.
We had a good time.
Yeah. It was a really good
So
time.
glad we got to do that.
So, now we're back. Ready
Doing
to
the
rock and
real
roll.
life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day yesterday for those that enjoy that holiday. Either way, no matter what. It's a fun day to celebrate those you love in whatever capacity.
That's right.
We took it easy. We just went out for a dinner with our whole family and snuggled up and watched
Yeah, it was
a
kind of
movie.
funny. We went out to a really fancy seafood restaurant because
We had a gift card.
I had a gift card from
a client.
there you go, a client. And so we decided, we'll just take the kids with us. Totally forgot it was even Valentine's Day.
They almost didn't let us in,
No, we went early. It was like 3:00.
but they almost still didn't have room for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was kind of weird to be at a fancy restaurant with all of your kids on Valentine's Day
Yeah.
when everyone else was
Well, and our
older
kids
couples.
don't do fancy often.
No.
So, but it was a good experience.
And they did fine.
Yeah, they did good. It was good.
But when you take your kids to dinner when it's $45 a plate,
You're kind of like, well, what are we? But the kids' menus were perfect.
the kids' menu were cheap.
The same price as everything else, which is great.
That's because no kids probably ever go there, so they don't even have to worry about it.
That's probably true. So anyway, we had a good Valentine's. It was just nice and chill. So
Yeah, it was.
yeah, and we are ready for President's Day. It's like a really long weekend going on around here. It's fun.
Yeah.
So,
So, what should we talk about today, Eth? What do you think we're going to talk about?
So I think we're gonna talk about getting lost while skiing at a resort.
Have you ever done that?
Kind of.
No, I don't think I've ever gotten lost. I've lost a kid at night.
Were you on the
skiing.
backside with me somewhere?
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah. You
lift-
and I did.
Yeah, we had to because the lift had closed and
We had to
ended
hike back
and we
out.
had to hike back out. That wasn't getting lost. We knew where we were, but we were very
Well, we're about to
stuck
lose
on-
our sunshine. and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know where we were,
No.
but we were on a cross country path.
That was like next to or a part of the actual.
And so we knew if
ski
we
resort.
hiked that long enough, we would get to a lift that supposedly was open. So,
That was nerve wracking.
yeah.
But no, I've done it a few times on the backsides of mountains, kind of pushing the boundaries. And
What a rebel.
I know.
What a rebel.
Yep.
Well, that's not what we're going to talk about.
No.
That was all that we're going to talk about.
But that was a good guess, though, right?
It was a great guess.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about today funerals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a funeral this week we went to.
We did.
So that's what made me think of funerals. And I thought, we have very, even here in the States or in Canada, there's so many different ways in which us as humans say goodbye to our dead,
Celebrate life. Yeah.
across religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, it'd be fascinating to look at maybe some various burial rituals from around the world / interesting funeral stories /
I remember us
Things like
talking
that.
about being buried alive one time in one of our podcasts. Remember?
what was the overarching topic for
I
that
can't remember,
one?
but I remember there was like a bell and some sort of
Right.
like they didn't really know if they were dead.
Well, that was a whole custom, they used to do back, I want to say Victorian times,
Like-
maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah, I remember talking about this, but not specifically in this capacity, but
Mhm. But
similar.
we did talk about people who weren't really dead.
Yeah, which is terrifying.
Mm-hmm. So I think everyone we're talking about today is dead.
That's good.
Yes.
That's a bonus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess there's no way of knowing. Maybe some of these people were alive dead and then ended up dead.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
We'll believe not. So let us begin.
All right. I'm ready.
So we're going to start by talking about some interesting funeral practices from around the world.
Okay.
So here in the U.S., generally speaking, there's only a couple ways that you can dispose of your deceased, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
could.
there's probably lots of ways, but
Well, I really don't think there's that many. You can bury someone. You can cremate someone. Here in Washington, we have fungus suits.
fungus suits,
Mm-hmm.
like you put them in like a
It's like
thing and turn them into fungus,
yeah, it's like a suit.
like a bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like a suit, like an article of clothing that is full of fungal spores. So as you start decomposing, you turn into a bunch of mushrooms to,
Help fertilize.
go back into the earth.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, what else can you really do?
You can send them off into the ocean, light them on fire.
Can you really, though?
Why can't you?
I think there'd be a lot of regulatory problems with that.
Oh, but I mean, people have done that in history.
Well, I'm talking about right now.
Currently
Currently in the United States of America.
in the United States of America specifically. I
or
thought you meant-
Canada.
or Canada. Okay.
Like if someone died. Those are really the only ways you can.
Yeah, cremation, burying. I mean, I guess legally, that's probably
Right.
I don't even know if fungal suits are a thing in Canada either.
I don't know.
Huh. Didn't even know that was a thing here.
They're pretty new.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about some ways around the world that people dispose of their loved ones.
Okay.
So we're going to start in Tibet and Mongolia.
Cool.
Amongst the, I don't know what kind of people. This is a Buddhist belief of the Vajrayana practice of Buddhism.
Yeah, you should say that a few times real fast.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
Okay.
So they believe in reincarnation and the impermanence of the physical body.
Okay, so even if you believe in reincarnation, you still have someone that has passed away. You see their body.
Mm-hmm.
you still have to do something with that body, even though you think that body's going to turn into something else, right?
I don't think they believe that body's interesting me. I think they believe the spirit's going to come back in a different body.
Gotcha. Yeah, in a different form too.
I'm not sure that's Buddhism.
Oh, okay.
Is that Buddhism?
I don't know.
feel like that's. I did not read up on my Eastern religions prior to this podcast.
No, that's okay. I was just trying to clarify, so that's okay.
Is that Hinduism? Where they seeking nirvana, and a cow's the highest and a fly's the lowest?
No, I think that's Buddhism.
Is that Buddhism?
I think so.
Either way, doesn't really matter for this.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't know.
This topic. So what they do is they place the deceased in a meditative position for a period of time,
Okay.
which is always good.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they bring in monks,
Okay.
or they're specialized monks called Rogyapas.
Okay. Specifically to deal with the deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And they take the body to a high remote location.
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Now, Rogyapa means body breaker.
Okay.
So what do you think they do?
Maybe break it into tiny pieces.
Yeah. So once they get it up high, they dismember it.
Okay. If you could only see my face.
Yeah. That's most of this podcast. We should name this podcast. If you could only see Anthony's face podcast.
I mean, probably everyone else's face listening to that. Like, think of that process. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they have like some sharp instruments. It's not just like twisting an arm around and around.
No, I'm sure it's not, but still.
You know, like when you take
so
a chicken leg off.
Michael, too much. Nope.
I don't think they do it like that.
Yeah, I hope not.
But once they do it, then they just leave it and offer it to the vultures. to
Why
come
are
and-
you dismembering it first?
That's a great question. Maybe so the vultures don't have to fight so much. You could kind of spread it out. I don't know.
Share evenly?
Yeah.
It's, I guess, one way of doing it.
Yeah. So if the vultures eat the body quickly, that is seen as a good sign for the soul. But if they reject it or take a while, then it could mean maybe you weren't that good of a person. You got some issues you're dealing with still.
Well,
I would rather that my eternal progression, as far as being reincarnated, was not determined on whether birds eat me or not.
and how fast they do it.
How fast they eat me.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't get to pick and choose.
that's true.
So that's different. We don't do that here.
Definitely not.
No. There's no taking your loved ones to the top of a mountain, dismembering them, and leaving them.
But even if
Frowned
you
upon by the Park Service.
leave them to the vultures, I also feel like the skeletons are not there. Those bones are going to be up there for
Yeah. They probably have,
really long.
I would assume, sacred places. Ritualistic
like
places.
almost like a cemetery for this process.
Yeah. And the point of talking about these things aren't to make fun of them, even though we're going to kind of, because that's just human nature.
No, I'm just trying to picture, like, am I visiting these places and I'm on a hike and I'm just seeing like skeletons?
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I assume most of these places are pretty remote.
Like kind of like a cemetery, like a special spot that everyone knows this is where you go and it is a cemetery kind of thing. That makes me feel a lot better. Yeah.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's a different one.
Yeah, definitely different.
So let's go to Madagascar.
Okay. I like King Julian.
Yeah, this is what King Julian does. This is the Famadihana.
Of course.
Yeah. Means turning of the bones.
Again, doesn't sound great.
Practiced by the Malagasy people of Madagascar, obviously.
Of course.
This is an interesting one. So they actually do bury their dead
Okay.
in tombs, usually ancestral tombs, so familial tombs. But every 5 to 7 years, and I wonder what breaks, like where that breakdown is, so it's 5, 6, or 7-ish, you know, when you decide you're going to do this ritual. But you go and you take the bodies out of your ancestral tomb and you unwrap them and you dance with them and you play music with them and you just kind of fill them in on all the stuff your family's doing these days. You talk to them, you hang out with them.
I guess I'm just confused by so one, wouldn't they stink? too.
One would think the newer ones would for sure.
Well, 5 years to 7 years is a long time. So wouldn't you think their body had already biodegraded any of the fleshy stuff? So you're taking and dancing with the skeleton?
Some are probably skeletons.
And so like you'd have maybe
I don't know
some
if you
sinew and
have
tendons that are holding the bones together, but really...
Could be. I actually saw some pictures. They look kind of mummified.
Oh, maybe they mummified
So maybe
them?
kind of just where they are, the humidity and stuff kind of mummifies them.
Then it might be easier to dance with them.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like this pile of bones that are kind of attached
Yeah, our boys would be really bad. It's like, oh, you're going to break grandma's leg off. Calm down.
Would have been broken off the second they even tried to dance with them. Like,
yeah.
so if they're mummified, that's different. Yeah.
They looked kind of mummified to me when I was watching stuff.
Okay. Well, then what I'm picturing is a lot different. I'm just thinking, how are you... It's kind of cool that they're kind of pouring out their hearts to their deceased loved ones. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's necessary to take them out and do all that, because...
Well, they do put, it's nice of them, they put fresh clothes on them before they put them back in.
It's definitely very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they spray them with perfume or wine.
Again...
Which is nice. It's a nice touch.
Yeah. I mean, you can only spray cologne on your body so many times before you just have to shower, though,
Yep. I don't know what the over-under is on sprays for dead people.
Me either.
But I would assume there comes a point where you probably don't stink that much.
Well, because
They're
there's
long
nothing
enough.
left to be stinky.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know what that time frame is.
They might.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you could go, like people go and visit their grave and kind of make maybe an annual thing of it or semi-annual or whatever. And they kind of just pour their hearts out kind of at their gravesite.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that works the same.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less invasive.
I'm curious if it's supposed to happen like every 5 years and it becomes kind of a chore. It's like, oh, we're 2 years late. I'm pulling everyone out of the tomb. Like, okay, next Sunday, we're pulling everybody out.
They do this every 5 to 7 years, or just 5 to 7 years after the one dies.
No, I think it's every 5 to 7 years.
So then they pull them out again and it's been like 10 to 12 years?
Yeah.
Or wait, what?
Right. So you could be like pulling out your great, great, great grandma, and telling her, which I kind of, okay.
That's a lot of clothing.
It is a lot of clothing. It's a lot of work. The physical nature of it's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I actually kind of think it's really, really cool in the kind of spiritual side of it that there's this natural instinct, I think, to hold on to familial ties.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is so many generations removed from this particular person, but we're still going to pull them out. And we're still going to talk to them about what the family's up to today. And
yeah,
and someday we're going to be buried with them. And like people are going to pull us up with them,
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of a cool tradition there.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But
That's cool.
yeah. So, those are, again, two different ways that we could incorporate here, maybe, if we needed more ways to. I mean, that one's still burying, technically.
Yeah, I think resuming a grave is very against the law, though, here. So I don't really know
Generally,
how
yes.
that would work.
We'd have to change some laws.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Or is it exhuming?
What did you say?
Resuming?
Oh, yeah, exhuming.
Exhuming, yeah. I felt like.
You could resume the exhume.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go to the Philippines.
Okay.
We need another idea. This is practiced by the Tinguian people.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yes, obviously.
So, this one's kind of interesting. So, for them, they believe that death is not an abrupt transition.
Okay.
It's not like you're alive, then you're dead. It's a process. It takes some time.
Well, it does take time to pass away, usually.
Mm-hmm. It usually does. But they believe that the deceased should still be treated as though they're part of the living world.
Interesting. Okay.
So after one dies, they will dress them in their finest clothes and then place them in a chair in their home so that they can still be part of, the football games and all the things.
How long are you doing this for?
Several weeks.
Okay.
And I do believe The Philippines is fairly hot and jungly. So
That would just be so stinky.
I think this would be better served in like Finland.
Or Iceland.
Yeah. Somewhere where it's a little chillier.
Yeah.
Even northern Canada.
Yeah. Great. That'd be,
Be great.
Yeah.
Philippines, I'm curious what this looks like.
Smells like more like.
Well, true. Oftentimes they will light a cigarette and put it in their mouth for them. So they still seem like they're enjoying life.
This is very interesting.
And then neighbors will come by and say, goodbye to them. And so it's like a viewing, but in their house for like a couple weeks.
And then what?
I don't know what happens after that.
But their body, the rigor mortis sets in and your body gets all rigid and it's just, this is so stinky.
Well, it gets rigid for a very short time. And then it gets real loose and saggy as it
And
decomposes.
Soupy.
Soupy, yes. That's why you're buried in a bag under your clothes.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's an interesting one too.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever choose that one.
No.
No, out of the three, that would be my least favorite choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
I don't mind the vultures other than it'd be weird having to like chop up somebody.
Sure. But if the monks do it and they're trying to do it, then I don't have to do it for my loved one. Then that one wouldn't bother me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if that's just how, your country did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one seems a little too, I don't know.
There might be a good business for like, what's it called? Sensi in the Philippines.
I don't think you could mask it again. You can only have so much cologne before you need a shower. It's the same. You can't. The electricity part of Sensi would be hard too, probably in some places.
Yeah. Have you ever smelled death like that?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. Only preserved formaldehyde.
There was one time we were out by your parents and there was a deer that had been hit by a train.
I've definitely smelt rotting animal.
Right.
Yeah.
And that one was like, you couldn't be within like a quarter mile of it downwind. Like
Yeah.
it was so...
If you're talking about that, I think I have. As far as animals, there was a dead horse one time in Idaho when I was with my cousins. That was so like dry heave wretched.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the same smell as a human.
Yeah.
Right. So I've never experienced that with a human, but I have. If that's what we're talking about, then yes.
When I was in dental school, one of my professors whose license I worked under was the forensic odontologist in Cleveland.
Cuyahoga
County.
Cuyahoga.
And so he went out and dealt with dead bodies all the time. But he told us one time, if you want to know what it smells like, take a pound of hamburger meat in the summer, leave it in your garage for 2 weeks. And then...
so disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I guess you would multiply it by X many hundreds of times, right?
So disgusting.
So, yeah, anyways, that's happy. Let's go to Ghana.
Okay.
This
I want to
one-
go to all these places.
Yeah, you'll like this one, though.
Okay.
So this one is practiced by the Ga people
Okay.
of Ghana, where they make fancy coffins
Ooh, that's fun.
based on either the like passions, professions, achievements
That's
of the
cool.
person's life.
Like carving the wood or...
Yeah, so they make very intricate, these coffin makers make very intricate custom-made coffins in the shape of things like a fish if you were a fisherman.
Oh, cool.
Or an airplane if you were a pilot.
I
or
like that.
if you sold soda, like a giant Coke bottle. Or if
That
you
would
were
be
a taxi driver, a car, or if you're an athlete, some kind of sneaker.
That's cool.
And they're super bright painted and really detailed. And usually the funeral is a very lively celebration.
That's good.
So I think that's kind of fun.
That is cool.
Yeah. This funeral we went to last week, the lady I thought it was really, really cool. She had like a matte, solid black coffin.
Oh, that is cool.
You probably never really paid attention. Like you never probably got close enough.
I saw the beautiful flowers,
Right.
but I never really paid
The whole
attention.
thing was black and it was like a matte finish and it was just so simple, but like executive. I don't know. It just was really, really nice looking.
That's cool.
I really liked it.
Yeah. That's really neat.
But no, if she had one that was intricately made, it would have been like a cat.
Yeah, so I
Cat-shaped
actually really
funeral.
liked how at the luncheon they used a lot of the things from her home as the centerpieces,
Yeah.
which I thought was so cute.
That was really neat.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
So, all right. So those are some unusual funeral practices from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to talk specifically a little bit about some unusual funerals
Okay.
that maybe went interestingly. So the one we went to was very uninteresting,
Right.
very standard.
Yep.
So we're going to go to Ohio because our kids love Ohio.
All the middle schoolers love to say Ohio.
They do. And our middle two are born in Ohio, so they feel an especially close connection.
Yes.
So there was a guy there by the name of Billy Stanley. And Billy Stanley loved his Harley Davidson. So what do you think he did?
Probably got buried with it.
He got buried with it, but not only with it, he got buried
Like on it.
on it.
Oh.
So it's more like he got taxidermied. I'm not sure it was embalmed, but sitting on his motorcycle. But then they built him a plexiglass coffin around the whole motorcycle. So he was like sitting on it.
You could see him.
You could see him. But to make it really special, they towed it behind their truck around town so he could get one last ride.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's a whole new level.
That's some dedication and some kids who love you.
Yeah. I mean, he must have told them this is what he wanted.
I would assume so.
Or do you think his kids assumed this is what he wanted?
Well, I think he did specifically say he wanted to be buried on his bike.
Yeah, the whole pulling
But
around.
the parade maybe was
impromptu
an
thing.
impromptu thing.
We went to all of this. Now we have to show
Yeah, we're not
this
just
off.
going to bury this thing. Let's drive around town.
You know what's also sad about that is he can't really ride that motorcycle. So like one of his kids could have had that motorcycle.
This is true.
Or they could have, gifted it even to someone who, I don't know. I just think I'm glad he got to ride
Like
his
30 years
motorcycle.
down the road,
Yeah.
you come back and you're like, we're pulling that bike out.
Yeah.
That bike's worth a lot of money now. Get off, Dad.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know what it takes to exhume. But then also it would be probably ruined.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a soupy mess all over it.
Interesting. Okay, well that's quite the wild one. Yeah, I'm surprised they let it happen. I mean, I guess, but you just do it and then I guess.
I mean, I would assume there's certain regulations you have to follow, and if you follow them,
Then you're fine.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you didn't ask for permission or figure out the regulations and you're breaking a rule and you're not allowed to do it, I mean, the cops are going to pull you over and be like, hey, you can't have this guy. He's see-through and it's traumatizing to
That's
other
right.
people.
You can't have dead people riding motorcycles
What kind
around
of
town.
ticket is that going to be? I don't know. It's just funny.
It is funny.
Okay.
So this next one, there was a guy. There's actually two stories that are just like this one. This is in Puerto Rico, but there was another one in Mexico. This one's a band by the name of Angel Pantoja Medina.
It's a long name.
So his final request was he wanted to be standing up at his own wake.
Okay.
And so his family honored him by embalming him in an upright position wearing a Yankees hat and sunglasses. And he stood in the corner of his mother's home greeting guests as they came in.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So there was the one in Mexico, he was a professional boxer who got shot and killed. And his family didn't want for him to be remembered that way. So they set up, it was like a boxing ring corner. And he was standing there with sunglasses and his gloves. And people would come up and take it was like a wax museum almost kind of thing. Take pictures with him. But
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to take a picture and get too close with that. I don't know. I just don't know how I'd feel about that. But to each their own.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to do that, I'm trying to think what position would I want to be in?
Laying at the beach.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one for me.
Sitting on the bench at Disneyland
Yeah, that'd be good too.
in New Orleans Square.
Yeah, I don't have any like real skills. Like, oh, there's Mike on the piano, or there's
You have skills.
but not enough
Like
skills.
sitting with your loops on.
Yeah, that was the last thing I'd want.
You with all your books around you, like signing autographs.
I could sit here at this microphone.
Your headphones on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this isn't that big of a part of my life.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do.
Maybe you should bury me in my truck.
I don't want to. Because I
You
think,
want the truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, that makes sense.
I just think that's silly. It could
It
go
is
to one of
silly.
our children or something. They could sell it and divide it 3 ways because it's not like you
Well,
can
we have
use
4
it.
kids, so which kid's not going to get part of it?
Did I say 3
You
ways?
said 3 ways, yeah.
4 ways. I meant 4. I don't know how I said 3, but 4
You're already
ways.
leaving one of them out, huh?
I was thinking maybe the littlest one didn't need it. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sorry, buddy. Mom's kicking you out of the wheel.
Just the truck part, apparently. Didn't
Fair
even
enough.
notice.
Okay. This next one is kind of interesting. It started back in 1897,
Okay.
also in Mexico.
Okay.
He was a Mexican mayor named, I don't know what his name was, but he had a name, I'm sure. But he died. But due to the arid climate in which he was in, he kind of accidentally mummified.
Interesting.
Right. And so his well-preserved body kind of became a local curiosity, and people would kind of started coming to see it. And lo and behold, they decided, you know what? We're going to kind of use him as a holiday decoration.
Holiday
Yeah,
decoration.
so there's certain festivals in the village that they bring him out and put him on display, and then they'll tuck him back away like a Christmas tree until the next time. But that still happens today. So for 127 years,
Weird.
yeah, he's now like,
Who stores them?
I'm hoping like City Hall or something. I don't know.
You know, like our neighborhood has like the neighborhood Easter egg
Right.
hunt.
And
And
no
we have
one
like
wants
the
to-
Easter bunny costume and all the decorations, and nobody wants to store them.
Yes,
I'm just picturing the
he
same.
probably gets passed around every couple of years.
Like, you
Someone
stay
else.
with this member of the committee's home to this year, and next year it's this one.
Yeah,
That's
it's like the newest person on the city council.
Yeah.
has to store mayor
well,
and then put him out for I wonder which holiday.
it's so interesting. Yeah, like maybe during Semana Santa or something.
I don't know. I hope he's like waving or something. You know?
He's mummified in that position.
Yeah.
The waving,
Smiling and waving and
like the mayor,
yeah,
cheesy smile.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
I sure hope
I
that's
wonder
true.
how these things start. That's pretty funny.
So, yeah, I mean, that would be cool.
Okay.
All right, this next one's not a specific funeral, but it's a funeral practice that happens both here in the U.S. and in Japan,
Oh, okay.
and it's actually growing in popularity.
Okay.
And that is the idea of drive-through funerals.
I can't comprehend what that means.
What do you think it means? Like, what would you
Like
if
the
I had
coffin
if
is
I made you make it
outside.
up?
And it's an open casket, and you drive in your car and you look at them and you pay your respects, and then you drive to another spot and there's like a screen and you pull in like a drive-in movie, and then they have this whole like video of their life, but it's all like you can read it all, and you turn to the right station and the right station comes through your speakers. I mean, what? I don't know how else.
So your version's way cooler than the real version,
Okay, I don't even know how else this.
but
could
you're on the
work.
right track.
Okay,
But that's really good.
thank you.
So like over in Sandpoint, there's the drive-through, like
Oh,
Quickie Mart.
convenience store? Yeah.
So there's this drive-through convenience store over in Idaho, where you drive through and you point at what you want, and they bring it to you, and you pay, and you just keep driving through.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think of it like a shop with a door on both sides. So
But only one car at a time.
right. So, well, no, I'm talking about the convenience store.
Oh, okay.
So the way these work, yeah, it's a funeral home that has essentially a drive-through lane, like it goes through the building, and so they put the coffin. It's like a viewing, like a public viewing. So
Yeah.
they put it like in this glass little box, and you drive up to it, And then someone brings you the guest book, and you can sign the guest book, and you can look at the person and say your final goodbyes or whatever, and just drive on. That's it.
Well, there's no like story of their
No,
life.
so that's what I'm saying. Yours is way better.
Oh, yeah.
You have the whole drive-in movie part.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who needs an idea out there, I should patent that.
I'm not really sure what the point of... I've always been intrigued by the point of a logbook or a guest book at a funeral. Like, who's ever going to go look at the guest book?
Maybe the family members?
I mean, maybe if there's like a spouse who's left behind.
Yeah.
But like, it was my mom, like, okay, I know half these people. Do I really care that they wrote in this book? Not at all. It's not like they're writing a message. It's not like a yearbook. They just wrote their name in a book. But the dead person's not going to read it. I mean, they don't care who's at their funeral.
Maybe it's like they want to know. Yeah, I never have thought about this ever in my life.
I was thinking about it last week at the funeral. Like, I'm signing this book. No one's ever going to look at this book again. Like, this lady was a widow. Like, this book's going to get closed. It's going to go in a box. It's never going to get looked at again.
So what you're saying is you don't want a book at your funeral.
I'm not saying I don't want one. I'm saying I don't care at all.
You make a very valid point.
I mean, if family posterity someone wants a book, great, do a book. But I don't care about a book.
Yeah, I actually wonder why.
I mean, you know how many times I've looked at my yearbook since high school?
Never.
Zero. And I'm still alive.
That's why I hate ordering them.
Yeah.
Like,
now it's not even that I don't look at them. It's like, I don't even care what's in these things. Like, that was like another life.
I mean, I think it's sometimes fun to bring them up and like laugh at,
Sure.
know, like, oh,
But I
hey,
never
this
have.
was your... No, but I think it would be fun. And I think I have once or twice, but I don't even know where mine are, actually.
Yeah, I don't know where mine are.
I know where some of your like memory books are.
I have memory books?
Well, the one that your girlfriend in high school made.
Oh.
And then it's
That's
like
just like all
scrapbook.
basketball stats and
Sure,
stuff.
it's like a scrapbook. And then the one your mom made with like all the pictures.
So that is cool. So my mom,
Yeah, that one's cool.
for Christmas one year, she went and made, so I have two older brothers, and she made all of us
A book of...
these big giant memory books, but essentially it was all the stuff she'd ever collected.
Yeah.
Just like, here, you take it now.
But
so
she
like
put it in
pictures
an
of
easy
us
form,
and
yeah.
our, you know,
I like
cards from our first birthday or whatever. So yeah, that is cool.
But
Actually, the kids would love going through that.
I know where it is.
I know where it is too.
I just don't know where my stuff is. My mom had all those things. I need to figure that out, actually.
But so anyways, side, quest there. I don't understand the book. So the drive-through funeral really doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right.
I mean, you could drive through and see the person. That's okay.
Yeah.
But if half of it's signing the book, yeah.
Maybe some people who have family members pass on find a lot of therapy going through and seem like all these people loved my parent or my...
Yeah.
They were
and I could
real.
totally see it if it was like a yearbook style.
Like
where they wrote a little
message.
note.
Yeah,
It was
like
like
a
a get
thought.
well card kind of thing, like,
That would make more sense.
oh man, I loved your husband. We went fishing once back and, blah, blah, blah. Like that would be therapeutic. But it's like, oh, Bob Brown signed. That was cool.
It's true. It's so true.
Hey, here's Shirley and Tom. Okay, cool.
Shirley and Tom didn't even put their last names. I actually don't know who that is. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
I'm just kidding. Okay, I like the concept in some ways, I guess, but kind of weird in other ways.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
right.
Next one. We have two more specific funerals.
okay.
There was a family, don't know why, buried the lady in lingerie. Thong and all.
Okay. Like the viewing, was it an open viewing?
I hope not. I don't know. But the best part of the story, the lady's like 90 years old.
90 years old?
Yeah. Buried grandma in, silky thong. And
Okay, but is
lingerie.
it kind of like a joke? Like, how the families are kind of funny?
Not sure if it matters.
I think that's kind of like,
It's a joke on us.
if it's an open casket, that is definitely terrible. But if it's like a closed casket, who cares?
I guess if it's a closed casket, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
So remember what you said happened at the funeral we just went to?
I don't remember.
Like the sister dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so something quirky and weird like that. Maybe there was like this whole joke to it that no one knows but the family. That seems terribly absurd, but there's like a reason and we just don't know it. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm just saying. Maybe it was like a bet. Like grandma lost a bet. Like,
Yeah.
if I die before I'm 100, you have to bury me in my lingerie. Or I don't know what.
Yeah. I mean, those three words together, just like 90 dead lingerie. They just don't go well together.
It's a terrible idea, but maybe they were honoring her wishes.
Yeah. I mean, 90 alive lingerie is not good. 90 dead lingerie is really not good.
You're just taking this to a whole new level, Michael.
I'm just speaking truth.
Yeah, that one is straight up weird, but there's got to be more to it, and we just don't know it because yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot. Okay.
Last one. Specific one.
Okay.
Hunter S. Thompson is a famous journalist.
Okay.
A gonzo journalist.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so a gonzo journalist is like it's a very satirical form of journalism, often written first person.
Okay.
So the author puts themselves into the story.
Weird.
And usually it's very crude and funny and,
Interesting.
Yeah. But Hunter S. Thompson was a big, I don't know the right word is. He was fairly famous.
Okay.
He wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That was his big book. There's actually been 2 movie adaptations of it, but there was a big movie adaptation when we were like in high school.
Gotcha.
I believe it's all about the failure of the 60s counterculture in Vegas, but I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Long story short, he died, and he had lots of celebrity friends. And so a buddy of his by the name of Johnny Depp. Have you ever heard of him?
I mean, only as Captain Jack Sparrow.
And 1 billion other things.
I'm just kidding, yeah.
So he spent $3 million.
Okay, now Johnny Depp is a weird guy, so I'm just like waiting for what this is going to be. I mean, I love him. He is an amazing actor, but I'm just terrified.
So
$3 million?
$3 million.
You know how much of Belize I could clean up with $3 million? Okay, sorry, I can't stop.
Yeah.
Just...
1 funeral worth. At least this guy's funeral.
Yeah.
So they built a 47 meter tall tower. It's 153 feet.
Okay.
Shaped like a fist, which was Thompson's kind of signature logo.
Okay.
And they cremated him, and then they shot him out of the cannon with a bunch of fireworks at night at like a big party.
So a bunch of ashes
Mm-hmm.
go
Not so many ashes.
go shooting into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's his body.
Mm-hmm.
What does the fist building have to do with anything?
Well, it was his logo.
Yeah, but like, why are we building a giant fist building? Where is this fist building?
This was on his ranch down in California.
Johnny Depp's ranch?
No, the guy's
Oh.
property.
Huh.
But we had people like Jack Nicholson attended, Bill Murray attended, some real celebrity A-listers who were.
Yeah.
So it was a big party.
So like Johnny Depp was like his best friend or what?
I guess they were pretty close. If you're going to spend $3 million on his funeral.
I mean, the fireworks shooting your ashes into the sky, cool.
Out of a custom built 150 foot tall tower.
So they shot it out of the top of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose of the fist tower was just to shoot the cannon?
Yep. It was a specialized fist-shaped cannon just for shooting the ashes.
And then after that, what do you do with it?
Yeah, I'm curious if it's still there.
I just want to say to all the people out there that have extra money, don't be dumb.
Well,
There's so many good things
I think you missed the boat on that one.
I think there's so many good things you could do with your money. So many. That don't include a fist tower. And honestly, shooting out of a canyon, sure, or a cannon is fine. People scatter ashes all the time. They take them to their favorite spot. They do their favorite thing. Sure. if you want to be rained in someone's ashes, I think that's a little strange, but I mean, cool. I just,
All of Tupac's buddy, the Outlaws,
yeah.
they put his ashes in some joints and smoked him.
See, again.
But that's a lot cheaper.
I mean, yes, it's still weird.
A little bit.
Like, if you're gonna,
I bet you that's more common than we want to
smoke
believe.
your friend, that's weird. And I wonder what that does to your own. I don't even know. So, but again, just people out there with extra money. If you don't know what to do with it, there's all these places in the world you could do a garbage pickup program and like disposal of waste. I think we in the United States have so many blessings, like ways of disposing our garbage is the seriously like sanitation.
We don't have as many ways of disposing of dead bodies. We're pretty limited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shooting it out of a cannon happened in the United States.
But it cost $3 million. It's not open for everybody.
Well, that's true.
But you could probably like put your ashes into like a Nerf gun. Shoot it out of that. That's cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Yeah.
Even the cannon alone, like if you wanted to spend whatever that a cannon would cost, I mean, that's still a little absurd, but
maybe when I die, you could like reach out to like Mark Grober or something and be like, "Hey Mark, will you make a specialized cannon?"
Or send your ashes through like one of his little
Yeah. Can you put them in a ball
gopher,
and send it through
like
the squirrel
Yeah, the squirrel.
obstacle course in a robotic squirrel
Yeah. Oh, it's still weird. That's weird.
and see if you can get 1 million views on YouTube with it?
I mean, yeah. I think the part that bugs me is the most is the wasting of the. I mean, to them, maybe it's not a waste. I guess that's maybe judgmental. I just feel like, really?
Well,
That's too
I think Johnny Depp is known for being pretty wasteful with money.
Which I even said when we were in
Until
Belize.
Amber Heard took it all, but then he sued her and got the bag. So you know.
I just even said that, though. Like, if you incentivized even the people of Belize to, whenever they turned in a certain pound of garbage, you know how, like, orthodontist office, they, like,
buy back candy
after trick-or-treating because they know it contributes to...
Mm-hmm.
And if there was someone with money that just said, hey, we're going to institute this program, and these people collected the garbage, and every ton they turned in, they got paid for it. I mean, they would do it themselves.
A ton's 2,000 pounds, right?
Or whatever. I'm just saying.
What's the word for 1,000 pounds?
Nothing. You need to watch the SNL clip. It's the greatest. Anyway, all I'm saying is there's so much good that could be done. And it just kills me. Anyway, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, so that was the last one? Or no?
That was the last one. Then I just have a couple really funny funerals
Okay.
that I want to discuss.
Sure. Okay, cool.
So in 2022, in New York, a family gathered to say goodbye to their grandma until they realized the funeral home had put the wrong body in the casket.
Ooh, dang. That's terrible. What do you do?
Well, they ran back and they made a switcheroo and they got it corrected. But
all the people at the funeral were like, wasn't this supposed to start at like 10? It's like 11 when they finally...
So,
we're having technical difficulties. Just wait a minute.
that would be, for some people, that would be like the most tragic thing ever. For others, it'd be pretty dang hilarious.
I think probably even for the people that was really tragic for in the moment, I think given time, it would be just one of those stories, right?
It's kind of like our wedding reception.
Yeah.
Like you bawled all night.
Yeah.
Everyone else there loved it, but now you think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's true. I do.
Yeah.
Because there's
Maybe that
nothing
would be
else
a
you could
good
do
that
is
would be a good
laugh
question
or cry.
for our thing tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Whose reception got blown away in a tornado?
Not a real
Not
tornado.
a real tornado, but pretty dang close.
It was crazy. That actually would be a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. See, we
That's
got
a
to
good
write
one.
that down.
Yeah. So that would be, an interesting funeral to attend. This next one, I actually watched the video. It's pretty dang funny. There was an Irishman by the name of Shea Bradley, and they were just about to lower... Well, actually, they lowered the casket into the ground already, and then somebody had been pre-set up to play a recording of him. And his voice was like, hello, hello, let me out. And it goes on for a long time. Yeah. So that's what I thought too at first. I was like, oh, I have to go, because the place that I read about it said like, oh, there's a video, you can go watch it. And I was like, oh, I have to go watch this because these people are going to be like freaking out. I will say, I think they'd all been warned ahead of time. It was like a final joke. Because then he says lots of funny things and he sings a song. And
okay, well, that's good.
yeah, but I think people were ready for it.
Must be quite the jokester.
Yeah.
That would be.
It was pretty funny.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh,
oh, this is a good one. In 2017, a funeral for grandma again, because that's usually, a common person to die.
yeah.
And the family had arranged for her favorite religious hymn to be played at the funeral.
Okay.
But when the funeral parlor went to play the song at the church, of all the songs that could be miscued and played incorrectly, guess what song came on?
I mean, I have no idea, but not the right one.
Queen's Another One Bites the Dust.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That was deliberate.
That's got to be deliberate,
100% deliberate. You cannot accidentally.
But that would be so funny. Like you're sitting there and it's like, okay, we're going to listen to Amazing Grace. And then you hear the bass line. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Like, that'd be pretty epic again.
I would die. Everyone would be looking around like, am I hearing this in my head? Does everyone else hear this? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But that is not an accident.
You would have to assume not. So, a couple more here. This next one's in Ghana, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
The pallbearers were carrying the coffin.
Oh no, did they drop it?
But they were kind of performing this choreographed dance.
Oh no.
Not only did they drop it on a hill.
Oh,
and it slid down the hill. So they had to chase after it.
Oh no. Oh, did they at least get it?
They got it, yeah.
It didn't like go into like a lake or
no,
okay.
or off a cliff or
that would have been so bad.
Nope.
Oh dear.
They were able to retrieve it, but still.
Well, just note to self, try not to choreograph anything funky while you're being a pallbearer. It's just probably not a safe idea.
They're just sheer numbers. Eventually something's going to happen, right?
Oh, I would assume so.
1,000 funerals, something's going to go wrong.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Last one. In the Philippines in 2016, I guess in the Philippines it's pretty popular to sing karaoke at funerals, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that would actually make me very happy.
Yeah, it would.
And at one funeral, a gentleman took the microphone and began singing good old Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
Gotta love that Celine. Gotta love it.
Well, she's good at it, whereas this guy was not. His performance was so bad that the guests started laughing so uncontrollably, and they asked if the funeral home would please bury him as well with the coffin.
Did he think he was good?
Probably.
Was it one of those like American Idol moments?
Probably.
Oh, sad.
So, but I like that.
Yeah. Karaoke? Yeah.
Karaoke would be good. Bringing some levity and some, little happiness to somber moments.
I like that.
So, I think I want you to sing "My Heart Will Go On" at my funeral.
No.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah. I'll find someone. I'll hire someone else to do it for you.
Yeah. No, I don't want someone else. I want you to do it.
Well, I can, I'll lip sync. And then it'll be,
well, that's good enough.
Celine in the background.
So, someday when your mom passes away, I worry for her about what her other son-in-law is going to do for her funeral. Regardless of what she requests.
Yeah, Danny likes to be a real S disturber. So, I can only imagine that he will have that picture at her funeral and probably all sorts of, anyway, who knows?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. We'll find out.
It'll be fun.
Oh, gosh.
So, well, that's all I got for you today.
Yep. Okay, well, that was good. I liked it. I liked some inspiration there and some things you definitely don't want to do.
Definitely, there are some things to avoid.
Yeah, for sure. So
I don't know how many things on that list for things to do, but definitely some things to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, like implementing karaoke.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean, across the world, it's fascinating to me how many different customs and cultures there are. Obviously, death is a very, here in the States, we like to shield ourselves from it and not talk about it and kind of pretend it doesn't happen. But it happens all the time, everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting to look at how humanity in general deals with
it varies.
The reality of death.
Right. It varies greatly, doesn't it?
Yep. Full show.
Full show.
All righty. Well, everybody, that was a good Valentine's episode.
Yeah, definitely. So lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone have a wonderful, wonderful couple weeks until we're back. Mm-hmm. And we'll chat with you later.
Sounds good.
Anything else before we go with?
Nope.
All righty. Everyone have a wonderful day, night, sometime. And we'll talk to you next time.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.